The last sound was the asterisk, snick asterisk of the television dianga soft, digital death. Then the silence rushed in, thick as poured honey, heavy as a wet wool blanket. It wasn't just an absence of noise, it was an entity, pressing down on the scent of peach cobbler cooling on the counter, on the worn green velvet of my armchair, on the very air I tried to breathe. My son-in-law, Derek, stood over me, the remote control held loosely in his hand like a conqueror's scepter. The blue glow from the dark screen reflected in his eyes, giving them an unnatural, alien sheen. He didn't look at me as he dropped onto the sofa, my sofa, bought with the first fragile social security check after Robert died. A piece of furniture that had held my grief and, eventually, my tentative peace. "Go to your room, old woman," he said, his voice casual, conversational, as if remarking on the weather. He said it to the room, not to me. I was already in absence. This living room is mine now. The words didn't hurt at first. They were too absurd to process, like a cartoon anvil dropped from the sky. They just hung there, grotesque and impossible in the peach-scented air of my own home. My body remained still, but my eyes traveled past him, seeking the one anchor that could make sense of this. Lena, my daughter, she stood frozen in the kitchen doorway, a ghost in a cardigan, her shoulders slumped under the weight of shopping bags. Her gaze was fixed on the floor. With such intensity, she might have been trying to memorize the pattern in the linoleum. I waited. One heartbeat, stretching into 2, then 3. I waited for the slightest twitch of her mouth, a flicker of her eyes toward mine, a single, whispered, "Don't." Her silence was the real blow. It wasn't passive, it was deafening. It was a collaboration. A strange sensation washed over me, starting at the crown of my head and moving down my body like a slow, cold wave. It wasn't rage that hot. Familiar friend would come later, in private. It wasn't even hurt. It was a crystalline, terrifying clarity, the kind I'd only felt once before, standing in the county recorder's vault, holding the deed to my mother's house after she died, understanding with brutal finality that I was now truly alone in the world. At 68, after 35 years of certifying the parchment proofs of people's lives' births, deaths, marriages, properties, bought and lost, I understood one immutable truth. Asterisk words are smoke. Documents are stone. Asterisk. I stood up. The movement was slow, deliberate. My knees issued a dry CL protesta. Sound like bones shifting in a crypt. In the suffocating quiet, it was as decisive as a judge's gavel. Derek was already sprawled on my couch, the king surveying his new domain. He unbuttoned his collar with one hand, reached for a soda with the other, never glancing my way. In the story he was telling himself, I had already exited stage left. I was set dressing, furniture that sometimes baked cookies. I walked past him, down the hallway that suddenly seemed like a tunnel into a past life. I didn't go to my room to weep. I went to arm myself. The bottom drawer of my dresser held winter woolens I no longer wore and memories I kept bundled away. Beneath them lay a stiff leather pouch, the kind banks used to give for mortgage papers. It smelled of dust and camphor and something else authorial. Inside, secured by a faded blue elastic band, was a folder. My fingers, knotted with mild arthritis, knew the way. They slid between the rough, legal-sized sheets like greeting old comrades. The bill of sale, the warranty deed, the current title. The papers were foxed at the edges, the typing slightly faded, but their power was ironclad, radiating through my fingertips. Asterisk asterisk owner. Celeste Margaret Everson, a sole and separate estate. Asterisk asterisk in the wavy glass of the old dresser mirror, I studied the reflection. Short, sensible gray hair, glasses on a chain, a linen blouse, the color of oatmeal. I looked exactly like what I was supposed to be. Everyone's harmless, accommodating, cookie-baking grandma. For years, that had been my most effective camouflage. Asterisk, as long as grandma feeds the wolves. Asterisk, I'd thought. Asterisk, they feel like kings, but the minute she closes the lid on the pot. Asterisk, I changed my clothes. Not into anything dramatic, but into something with structure. A navy blazer trousers with a sharp crease. I packed a small, wheeled suitcase. When I re-entered the family room, the space had been transformed. Derek had the sports channel blaring, the volume cranked so high the commentators sounded hysterical. Lena was in the kitchen. The aggressive asterisk clatter, dash clatter, asterisk of dishes being washed, a transparent substitute for speech. My heels made a decisive asterisk tap, dash tap asterisk on the hardwood floor. I'd polished every Saturday for 2 decades. Derek turned, smirked around the mouth of his soda can, taking a stroll. Celeste, don't get lost. It's easy at your age. I didn't grant him a syllable. I turned the deadbolt solid, satisfying asterisk chunk asterisk of forged metal engaging, a sound of finality. For one suspended moment, I let my eyes travel over the museum of my life. The framed print of the Savannah riverfront Robert and I bought on our 10th anniversary. The Persian rug I vacuumed in careful, meditative rows. The broad, smug back of my son-in-law claiming territory. The faint, sad shadow of my daughter hiding among the appliances. My hand closed around the cluster of keys in my pocket. The cold metal teeth bit into my palm, invigorating. Outside, the world was crisp, clean, and shockingly indifferent. An early autumn chill hung in the air, smelling of fallen leaves and distant fireplaces. I locked the front gate from the outside, a purely symbolic gesture. But symbols are the first language of revolution. At the avenue, I raised my arm. A yellow cab, sleek as a predator, slid to the curb. Where to? The Grand Hyatt. Downtown. In the backseat, as the city lights blurred into streaks of gold and white, I became a general in a quiet war. My phone felt heavy, potent. My fingers, trembling with an adrenaline that had nothing to do with fear, scrolled past a digital album of my life. Grandchildren's gap-toothed smiles, recipe links from Lena, reminders for dental cleanings and blood pressure checks. I found the number. Not in favorites, but in the archives. Under S, a name I hadn't dialed in a decade but knew would answer on the second ring. Andrew V. Sterling, attorney at law. We'd inhabited adjacent professional orbits, for years hem, in his corner office, litigating property disputes. Me, in my cubicle labyrinth, the gatekeeper of deeds and titles. We'd shared bad courthouse coffee and a profound, unsentimental respect for the power of properly filed paperwork. Celeste, his voice was alert, stripped of sleep. It's nearly 9. What's wrong? Andrew. I watched my reflection in the dark glass, a pale, determined ghost riding through the night. I've woken up. I need you to help me evict to tenants. A pause. A lawyer's pause. Measuring. But you live with your daughter and her husband? Precisely. Another beat. He knew me. He'd seen my absolutely not stamp come down on flawed titles. My meticulous cross-references that had saved clients from financial ruin. He knew my signature was a fortress. What did they do? The words, spoken aloud to a witness, made them real. He stood in front of my television, turned it off, and said, "Go to your room, old woman. This living room is mine now." My daughter watched and said nothing. I heard the faint scratch of a pen on paper. That's constructive eviction, moral abuse, at minimum. But you don't want a shoulder to cry on. You want the law. I want a notice to quit. I am terminating the gratuitous license to occupy, effective immediately. The house is in my name. They have contributed nothing but utility overages for 4 years. Personal service is best. I'll send Roman Cruz, junior associate. Quiet, wears a suit like it's armor, doesn't get emotional. He delivers news like he's reading the weather factual. Inevitable. He'll do. Standard 30 days. But I want a clause about liability for back rent at fair market value for the entire 4-year occupancy if they choose to contest. And a holding over penalty. A low, appreciative whistle traveled down the line. You're not messing around. Andrew, I am a wounded woman who knows exactly where the property records are filed. That is the most dangerous creature in any city. Be at my office at 8. We'll file and sign. Roman will serve them by 9:30. The cab glided under the hotel's soaring portico, a world away from my peach cobbler kitchen. A doorman in a greatcoat opened my door. "Welcome to the Grand Hyatt, madam. May I assist with your luggage?" "I only have this," I said, holding up my small suitcase, and the self-respect I just recovered. The room was a lesson in peaceful sovereignty. Quiet, lavender in the air, a bed so wide it felt like a continent, a television remote that responded to the lightest touch. I ordered tomato soup and a glass of Cabernet from room service. As I ate, looking down at the city grid sparkling like a stolen jewel box, I knew their routines like a spy. Derek, who slept until 9 and emerged grouchy, expecting the world to have been pre-smoothed by Lena. Lena, the appeaser, the friction reducer, who had mistaken compliance for love. I pictured my own front door. I imagined the bell ringing, a confident finger on the button. This was not a social call. This was the first formal declaration of war. I slept the deep, untroubled sleep of a commander who has finally given the order to advance. The next morning had the crisp efficiency of a military campaign. In Andrew's office, I signed where his finger indicated. The pen felt right in my hand. Each signature was a boundary drawn in permanent ink. Roman Cruz appeared as promised. Young, dark-haired, with a calm that seemed built into his bones. He looked like a man who could deliver an eviction notice or a death sentence with the same polite detachment. "He's heading to your house now," Andrew said, watching me from behind his desk, a faint smile playing on his lips. It was the look one professional gives another when they see a masterful move. Good. I settled into a chair in his reception area. "I'll wait here." Panic, I had learned over a lifetime, is a child, and it always, always, runs home to mother. The receptionist's cheap coffee machine produced a liquid that tasted of burnt sugar and plastic. I drank it anyway. The clock on the wall became my metronome. Asterisk, tick-tock. Tick-tock, asterisk somewhere across the city. In my quiet subdivision, a different kind of programming was about to interrupt their daily broadcast. My phone vibrated on my knee at 9:32 a.m. Asterisk, Lena. Asterisk, I let it ring. Once, twice, 3 times. On the 4th, I swiped. "Mama, oh my God." Mama, her voice was a shattered windshield. There's a man here. A lawyer. He has papers. Derek is asterisk, screaming asterisk. What is asterisk happening asterisk? Where asterisk are asterisk? You? I pictured it. Roman. Stoic on the welcome mat. Derek, purple-faced, still in his robe. Lena, fluttering behind him like a distressed bird. His name is Roman Cruz, I said, my voice flat. Calm water against her cliff face. He is an associate from Andrew Sterling's office. Take the notice from him. Read it aloud. Then tell your husband the old woman is unavailable for screaming today. But it says, asterisk 30 days. Mama, have you lost your asterisk mind? Asterisk. Lena. I used a tone I had used since she was 16 and had taken my car without permission. It stopped her cold. For the first time in years, I am in perfect possession of my mind. Read the document. Then do what it says. I pressed the red button. The silence that returned was absolute and delicious. Andrew's door cracked open. He raised a questioning eyebrow. Daughter, I confirmed. He nodded. Act 1. Now, the real work began. From my hotel room, my headquarters, I began severing the invisible umbilical cords. I called the internet provider, the sweet-voiced representative on the other end. Yes, I'd like to temporarily suspend service at that address. Effective immediately. Yes, I'm the account holder. No repair appointment needed. We're having renovations, unexpected renovations, asterisk, click dot, asterisk, 1, lifeline, cut. The cable company, I need to cancel the premium sports package. Today. Yes, and downgrade the overall service to basic, just the local channels. Thank you. Asterisk, click dot, asterisk, another source of his comfort, gone, the bank. A longer call, more security questions. I need to freeze the supplementary card in the name of Lena Everson. Yes, a security precaution. And please lower the daily online transfer limits on the primary account to $500. Text alerts only to my number. Asterisk, click, 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 asterisk. Each disconnected service was a silent, surgical removal of a support beam from the structure of their taking for granted. The responses came in predictable, pathetic waves. Asterisk, asterisk, from Derek 10:14 a.m. Asterisk, 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 come home. Let's talk. Be reasonable. Asterisk, 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 from Lena 10:27 a.m. Asterisk, 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 the card declined at Whole Foods. He made a scene, people were staring. Asterisk, 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 from Derek 11:03 a.m. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. This is childish. Turn the internet back on. I have a conference call at 2. Asterisk, I placed my phone face down on the desk. My silence had become a physical presence in that house, more unnerving than any shout. That afternoon, I went to the Gallery Mall. In the austere calm of a high-end department store, I found Jenna, a consultant with eyes that missed nothing and a mouth that didn't offer false comfort. I need a uniform, I told her. Not for a job, for a negotiation. I am establishing borders. She didn't blink. She returned with charcoal gray trousers that held their line like a promise, a white silk blouse that whispered rather than shouted, and a blazer the color of champagne. In the triple mirror, the woman who looked back was both familiar and utterly transformed. Same face, same hair, but the posture was different. The spine had remembered its purpose. I paid with a credit card that worked perfectly. As I handed my old clothes to Jenna, I said, "Donate these. Let them comfort someone who isn't at war." On the 30th day, I did not go to the house. I did not bear witness to the final, petty act of their departure. I owed them no more of my attention. Instead, I went to a Korean spa on the outskirts of the city, a place of echoing tile, dense steam, and profound quiet. I lay on a heated jade slab, my body absorbing the stone's ancient warmth, and I listened to the sound of my own breath. At 11:07 a.m., my phone, resting on the floor beside me, emitted a single, discrete pulse. Romang's text was a model of efficiency. Asterisk, move out, complete. Keys returned. Minor drywall damage from mounted TV. Inventory attached. They are gone. Asterisk, asterisk, they are gone. Asterisk, two words that felt like a deep, first breath after years of suffocation. I didn't rush. I finished the ritual with a cold plunge that shocked the system, the slow drying, the cup of scorching ginger tea. Then I went to the hardware store. I bought spackle, a putty knife, sandpaper, a bucket, a heavy-duty mop, an industrial-grade floor cleaner, and paint. I'd already chosen the color, blushing peach, a shade that promised warmth without apology. When I finally turned my key in my own lock that afternoon, the house exhaled. It was a palpable sensation, a release of stale air, of trapped tension, of someone else's discontent. I moved from room to room, throwing open every window and door. The autumn wind rushed in, a cool, cleansing river flowing through the stagnant spaces. Then I put on the gloves. Erased them, not with anger, but with the meticulous care of an archivist restoring a priceless document. I spackled the holes in the wall where Derek had mounted his absurdly large television, sanding the patches until they were smooth as skin. I scrubbed the ghostly outlines of furniture from the floors. I washed every window until the outside world shone in, undistorted. I cleaned not to purge, but to reclaim. The painter, Mr. Flores, came the next morning. He worked quickly, whistling softly. When he left, the family room was transformed. The walls glowed with a soft, peachy luminescence that made the green velvet of my armchair look like an emerald in a new setting. The room felt not just clean, but asterisk, kind asterisk. A week later, as I was testing the volume on a Brahms concerto, loud enough to feel the cello in my chest, but not so loud as to disturb the peace, a hesitant knock echoed through the house. I knew who it was. I opened the door. Lena stood on the porch, looking younger and older all at once. The defensive hunch was gone from her shoulders, but her eyes held a new, weary knowledge. "Come in," I said. She stepped into the hallway and stopped, her gaze sweeping over the peach walls, the clean lines, the absence of clutter. "It's so quiet." "It's peach," I said, leading her to the kitchen. "And it's peace." We sat at the small table where I now ate all my meals. I made proper tea, in a pot. "I'm in a studio," she said, not meeting my eyes, tracing the grain of the wood table. "It's over a bakery. It smells like cinnamon at 4 a.m. The shower pressure is terrible. I pay the rent with a check from my own account." She took a shaky breath. "I filed the divorce papers yesterday." I poured the tea, the steam rising in a fragrant plume between us. "He says you poisoned me against him, that you broke up our family." "What I broke," I said carefully, choosing each word like a stepping stone across a river, "was the spell. The one that makes you think a roof over your head is worth your soul. What you're building now, Lena, might be smaller, but every brick is yours. She finally looked up, her eyes glistening. Can I? Would it be okay if I came over sometimes? Not to stay, not to help, just to visit. As a guest, my heart, which I had thought was now fully fortified, gave a soft, unmistakable lurch. It was hope. That, I said, my own voice thickening just a bit, is the only way it should ever be. News, in a neighborhood of long memories and quiet observations, travels through whispers and noticing. The following Wednesday at precisely 4 p.m., my doorbell rang again. It was Zoe from down the street, our neighbor for 30 years. And beside her, clinging to Zoe's arm like a vine, was Betty Henderson. Betty's face was pale, her eyes rimmed in raw red. She looked hunted. Celeste, Zoe said, her voice low, we need your kitchen table. Betty burst into tears before she even crossed the threshold. It's my boy, Tommy. He and his wife, they want to consolidate. They say my house is too much for me, that I should sign it over to them. They'll add my name to asterisk, their asterisk deed. It'll be simpler. He yelled at me, Celeste. My Tommy asterisk yelled asterisk. I put the kettle on. I got out the good teacups. I brought my blue folder to the table. What followed wasn't a support group. It was a war council for gentle women. Never, ever sign a gift deed when a will can do the job. I began, spreading out sample forms Andrew had given me. A will can be changed. A gift deed is forever. I showed them how to find the owner of record on the county tax website. We practiced phrases. Asterisk, asterisk, IV. Decided to keep the house in my name for now. I'll discuss this with my financial advisor. My lawyer needs to review any documents. I taught them about life estates, about irrevocable trusts, about the sacred separation of bank accounts. Your password is your passport, I said. You wouldn't hand your passport to a toddler, no matter how much you love them. Betty left 2 hours later, standing straighter. She used the phrase we practiced that very evening when her son called. When he began to shout, she did what we'd rehearsed. She said, I can't talk when you're yelling, and hung up the phone. Then she called Zoe. The Wednesday meeting became a silent institution. Sometimes it was 3 of us, sometimes 5. We talked about reverse mortgages, about Medicare supplements, about the delicate art of saying no to a beloved grandchild who wants to crash for just a month. We shared the names of honest plumbers, respectful financial advisors, and lawyers who didn't patronize. Lena started joining when her work schedule allowed. She didn't speak much, but she listened, her eyes wide, absorbing this underground network of resilience. She was seeing the architecture of autonomy, and she was learning to build her own. Tonight, the house is quiet in the way only a truly peaceful place can be. A contented quiet. The peach walls seem to hold the last of the day's light. My green velvet armchair welcomes me like an old friend. The remote control sits on the side table. I pick it up. It's light in my hand, just plastic and circuits. No longer a symbol of oppression, just a tool. I turn on the television. I find a station playing Vivaldi. The strings fill the room, vibrant and complex. I listen for a moment to the way the sound moves in asterisk, my asterisk space. Then, deliberately, I press the volume button. Asterisk, click. Asterisk, louder. Asterisk, click. Asterisk, louder still. The music swells, rich and full, exactly to the level asterisk I asterisk desire. It doesn't rattle the windows. It doesn't disturb the neighbors. It fills asterisk my asterisk room for asterisk my asterisk pleasure. No one storms in. No one tells me to turn it down. No one calls me an old woman and sends me away. The house is mine. The quiet is mine. The music is mine. But most of all asterisk, I, asterisk, am finally, undeniably, mine. And the story, I realize, as I settle deeper into the velvet embrace of the chair, is just beginning.